Okay, so I'll share my screen again. Am I audible, Amit, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay, so we are checking like delete functionality. So first I will call the get all student to see like if any record is there. So there is no record, so we need to add the student again. So I will add, this is the first one. This will be the second one. And then third one is Ravi. So now I will call the get all students again. So we can see 3 records are there. So I will delete the like third record with name Ravi. So let's go to the delete student by roll number. I will write there 3. So it is saying like method. Okay, this I think URL is not changed here. Delete students. So now it is saying delete student deleted successfully. I will again get all students to see like it is deleted or not. So now we can see like third record has been deleted. So I will again delete one more record to check like student with roll number 2. You call the get all students again. So now only one record should be here. So one record is here now. So delete student by ID. I mean delete student by roll number is also working fine. And delete all students. Delete all students is also working. So now delete call we have done. Now next will be our update. Update the student details. Like we'll update is its roll number. We can update its class. So that functionality we can perform. So now I'll again go to the controller. So I'll write it again. For update, we are having the two methods like @put mapping and @patch mapping. So for now, we'll use @put mapping for update the student. So @put mapping, we'll write here comments also. So @put mapping, and I will take the URL as update student. Single student, for single student, first we'll write. So this time we'll be sending the request. I mean, we'll send the, so again, slash will be the create problem. So I'll add it. Then I can write like, now we have to see like it will consume the data or it will produce the data. So we are going to update the data to the database. So in that case, it should produce, I think. Yeah, we can see here in add student what we are doing. So in add student, okay, so in add student, we are taking the consumes. So same thing, whatever we are doing for add, we'll do for the update also. We'll take their consumes. So basically consumes or produces, we are taking on the basis of like what database is doing. Is the database is consuming the data from our service, or database is like producing the data for our service. So first time if we are going to update or add the details, then it will consumes. And if we are deleting something, so database is updating there. So in that case, it is the produces. So that we have to clarify. Okay, so for now, we'll take the consumes similar to the add functionality. So endpoint, we have endpoint details we have taken. Now we have to create the request code, that method call. So public, again, it will be the response entity because we want to show on the postman message like record updated successfully with the status code as 200 or okay. So I have to just give the like message like student updated. So if I want to show the like student updated successfully only the message, then I will take the string. If I want to show like student successfully with this roll number, so in that case I have to take the student basically. So for now, I will first I will write with the string, and then we will convert that to the roll number later. So I'll write like update student. So now we are going to update the student. So here we will need to write the request body, like what we want to update. So update the type of the request body will be the student. So method is also created. It is asking to import and returning the response entity. So return part I will take same as the delete, and I will just convert that to delete updated successfully. I will import this put mapping, and then I need to make the service layer call. So service dot I need to create one method update student, and it will be taking the parameter as student because you need to update the student detail. So here I need to write the student only object. I will go to the service layer, create one method with the update student. So I'll come to the service layer interface. Here I will create the method public void update student, and then we need to give the object of the student for which we want to update. So this I have created method. We need to just implement this in our AMPL. So here again it will ask to add unimplemented method. So we'll add that. Now, if you see in the DAO layer, here the one new thing is like in DAO layer, if we check DAO dot update something, so there is no update method. Same method is there, but there is no direct update method. So in that case, we have to create our own method in DAO layer, and then we need to write there the update query. So let's create our one own method now in the DAO layer for the update functionality. So I'll go to the DAO layer, and in DAO layer demo DAO class, here we need to create one method for the updating. So at the rate, first I need to write that at the rate query, what update query will perform. So we need to write that query. So for updating the record, we have to update the update student table, and in that we have to set the fields. So okay, it's coming in this format. So I need to write set, and suppose I have to update the I have to update this student name. So something student name we want to update. So in that case, I need to write like student name. So to take the proper syntax, we can just go to refer to the finance class. But let me just like write it. Okay. So student name equal to student name, and then what else we can update student class. So class also we can update comma class, and then I need to create the method like public void, and then return type will be like update student. So whenever like update student will be called from the service layer, whenever this method is called. So same method we need to have in the DAO layer also. Return type will be the void. It will be taking the student detail, and I need to import this query. So this is the format of writing query in the Java. I will just cross check from the finance application. So yeah, we have created now the method also. So the error, there should be no error now in the here. So here I'll call just in service layer, I'll call the update. Now we can see like update method is coming. So I'll just call it here. Service layer functionality is okay. So return type, create method update student in the demo. So same method I'm taking, right? Just I'll save this. Now error is gone. So control S I have not done. So that's why it was not coming. So now I will cross check my query, the query which I am writing here for the update from the already working application, that is the finance application. First I'll resolve this error, like I have make some changes here. Okay. So now I'll go to the DAO layer in the finance application to see the update query. So here we can see like lot of things we are missing up. So one thing is like I'll compare both of them. So update student we have to write, that is fine. Update student, update here users we are taking. We can take the alias also. So and then set u dot first name equal to colon u dot last name. Okay. So this part is fine, I think. Okay. But this like parameters we have to add in our method. That one thing we have missed it. So we'll write at the red param. Instead of the taking the object directly, we have to write the parameters. So parameters it will be picking from here. So at the red param, request param. So why we are writing this request parameter? Because here we are passing the student name equal to student name. So how our query will understand like this student name, colon student name is coming from which place. So here we'll write like whatever in the query you are seeing a colon student name. This is coming from the Java side with the string student name. So string. This part is the Java, and I have to make the same call in the this query also. So for that, to signify that mapping with the database query and the Java, we have to write double quotes, like we are just creating relationship. So here I am taking the student name. Here also I am taking the student name. But just for example, I am taking like student. So in that case, if I write here the student, and this student need to be mapped with the student name. So in that case, here in query, student will come. So just to differentiate, I'm saying like whatever we are taking in the column, the same name should be here in the request param. And this request param will map with the Java variable with the student name. So this is for the mapping purpose only we are taking this request param, because this query is the database query, and this variable is coming from Java side. So direct Java variable it will not pick. So that mapping we have to do with the request param. So I will keep the same so that there will be no confusion. So this query mapping we have done. Similarly for the student class also, I need to write this. So for class, again, I need to create one more variable. So I think class is a integer. So int class I'm taking, and then so why that error is coming, that is the first thing. Okay. So if you are writing the comma, then error is coming. Syntax error and token class invalid variable declared ID. So it is asking for a string only. Okay, let me write the complete, then we'll see like what is this request. So I'll take this at next line. I need to make this as int. So now syntax error and invalid variable declared type. So request parameter is okay. So this is the integer. I think that's why double quotes it is not accepting. Let's see here. So if we are passing any integer, so integer we are passing then at the rate param. Okay. So at the rate param annotation we have to use. I have used the request param. So that's the wrong. That is the one thing. I'll import this. One more thing we have to add annotation here, like we are modifying the data to the database. So at the rate modifying also have to use here. So these two annotations required, and then this variable error is coming. I will fix it again. So now param string name. So what is the issue now? This part we are writing fine, and with comma also we are writing. See the string name. Some syntax error is happening here. So I think this is Java class. If I change any, okay. So the class variable it will not take. That is the one problem here. Like directly it will not take the class. So we need to take some other name. Okay. So I'll take here the class ID to resolve that. Now this annotation is not required. Okay. So student ID. I'll just see like how we are calling it. So we are calling this in service layer. So in service layer, we are giving the whole object, which is for the update. And then we are one by one passing to the update user. Okay. Same thing we have to do here also. We have to pass the student name and class ID. So student class, okay. So now I have to go to the service layer of this implementation. I'll go to the demo service IMPL. Here we can see we are passing the student. Along with the student, we have to pass student dot two variables we have to pass. So student dot get student name, comma student dot get class name. So these two variables we are giving, and same variable we are writing in our query also in DAO IMP DAOs. So one thing we are not using here alias like s and then s dot student name and s dot class. So that we are not taking. Let's see like if it works without that first. So we have to create one more update endpoint now. So I'll close all the classes first. Now to avoid the confusion, to close all the classes, save. So demo controller, minimize this. So this last one, we are calling this endpoint. Now I'll go to the Postman, create one more endpoint for the update. So I'll create one more endpoint. That return type will be we have to select the put mapping for update, and then here localhost we will take update student. I will copy paste the endpoint, then question mark, and there we have to question mark. If we put, so one automatic variable it will add, and we have to add the student roll number. So student roll number. In this we are passing. Okay, so with equal to it will go. So student roll number will take suppose for 3. So automatically 3 will populate here. Now we have to give the body also for the put. So body will be of type JSON. So I'll select first, we need to select the raw, and then we need to select the JSON. I will copy that request body from the create student. I'll paste here in update. So for the class name, one student name, I have to update. Okay. So roll number section is, it will automatically pick. So now I need to create the student, get all student first. I will get all student first. So I think application is giving some issue. Get all student is not working. So here if we will see what problem is, I will go to this console. Not intercept path expression class. So it is not picking the class variable. So where we are passing that class in the DAO, we will see. We'll go to the service, and here in DAO, in demo DAO, we are writing the query. So this class, it is not picking. So this variable in student class, first we need to go to the student, like entity. In entity, we need to see the variables what we are taking. So one is class name and other is student name. So it should be the class name. That is the problem. Like I am taking here the class, but field name is class name. So now it should work. Start. So now let's hit it again. So now it is working. So okay, it all. So now we need to add the student first to the class, and then we'll update those. So I'll add first student Ravi, second as Suraj, and third as Prabhat. The student I have added. Now I'll call the get all student. So like we can see all the students. Now I have to update with the first student, like roll number 1. So for the roll number 1, I will take the, like suppose for last one, I have to update Prabhat. So I will update the student name as something else, and roll number I'll take 3. So I'll go to the here, roll number I'm taking 3. His name I want to update something like any name, like we can give here. So these all synonyms I'm taking for Ravi, Suraj. So all are the sun synonyms. So I will update this now. Let's see is it working or not. So we can select some internal server error. So executing as update student, some problem is there. Executing an update/delete query message. So we'll debug, we can see like what issue we are problem is there. So let's debug it. So I'll go to the controller. Now I'll put a debugger here. So debugger itself, it is not going. It means there is some problem in our this URL maybe. So localhost, we are taking update student roll number. So if we go here, update student object we are passing. Okay. So here one more argument we need to give, comma, at the rate request param. Roll number we need to give basically, on which roll number we want to update. So now I have added the roll number. That roll number I have to pass to my service layer also. So comma, roll number, and then same roll number I need to update there in service interface layer and service implementation layer. So I'll go to the first interface layer. I need to write here like comma int roll number also. So now roll number we are giving to service layer, and same thing I need to update in its implementation also. Okay. Now in down layer we need to write where student roll number equal to this, then only it will work successfully. So I need to go here. Here we are writing our query. So further also you have to write one more where student where we have to write roll number, right? So roll number we need to copy from here, variable name student roll number, and roll number, sorry, after this where student roll number equal to, then colon, and I need to take one more argument from here, comma, at the rate param int roll number, and at the rate param I need to write that variable, same thing. So now we have added here also. Now we need to go to the service layer. Okay. So now it should work, but here we'll see like some exception it is giving in console. We'll see like what exception. Clicked something else. So let the restart application, I think. Okay, here some error is there. I will go to the IMPL. Here one more argument we need to give in that roll number thing that we need to add in. Now I'll save it. Some background task it is running. So let it complete. Okay, so now application is started and it is giving some exception. We'll see. Could not create query for public abstract void reason using named parameter for method this optional, but parameter optional roll number not found. So this student roll number it is not able to pick the successfully annotated query. Okay. So what problem is with roll number we will see in query. So I'll go to the DAO student roll number. So I copied that object from the student only. So okay. So with which value it is generating, we can see in the postman also. We'll go to the get all student. We can see it is generating with student roll number. Same thing I'm taking here also. Where is student roll number? Okay. So here like that variable name is missing. So now it should work. Now it is started. Now let's hit the first get call to check it's working. Get call is working fine. Now we'll add the student, couple of student. So we can see get all students again. So we can see now like there are four requests. With Suraj there are two requests. So for last one, suppose I have to delete this request or instead of yeah I can delete this first to avoid the confusion. So I'll delete with roll number 4. So deleted. Now I'll call the get all student again. So now there are three students in the class, Prabhat, Ravi, and Suraj. So I can update this third one, Suraj, whose name is Suraj. So for updating a third number, roll number we are taking, and then Suraj I want to update the name as Dinkar. So I will hit it, and we can select it's the bad request. So some wrong request it is picking up. Okay, and roll number we are giving from here. Now what bad request it is? Required request param roll number for method this that is not present. So roll number. Okay. So if we will see here, let's go to the controller again. Update student we are calling, then student we are sending. Okay. And then we are sending the roll number. So this roll number variable it should go from the request param. Okay. So the same name we will take. Let's see. So again, it is giving like delete the query. Okay. So what problem is, I think it's not mapping up here. So if you see argument here in URL, we are giving the roll number. So that I need to add here. Same thing. So I need to give this roll number also. Now it will pick. This was the problem. So let's take the same thing, student roll number only, because in get call we are taking that. So I'll hit that again. So what is the issue now? Like First we'll see like any exception it is coming here. Executing update or delete query. Hibernate this final. Let's debug this. Some query related issues happening. So if I putting in debug mode, what problem is there? We'll compare this with the delete by ID. Get double quotes in curly bracket. We are taking roll number and then same thing we are passing here. So here also in double quotes curly bracket. Request param we are taking. Okay. Transactional is required on our service layer. That is the I think problem. So we'll do one thing. We'll go to our service layer, and on the top of our service, on top of our service class, this is the service class. So I'll go and we need to add at the rate transactional here. That for a, because we are making some update, so that that will maintain some transaction. If any exception is coming, then it will roll back that query. So for that purpose, we have to add that the rate transactional transaction. So Jakarta transaction, yeah. So I'll add this now. Now it should work. What is happening next? So we'll hit the request again to see like. So yeah, so now it is working. Let's call it's going on right 2 minutes. Okay, so we'll first add the student to our class again. Suraj, Ravi, and Prabhat. And again, I will get all student to check like it's coming. Correct. Okay, Prabhat is there and with 3 student ID. So I'll update the 3 student ID only. So now I'll go to the put call. Instead of Prabhat, I want to make it as Dinkar. So I will update it. Now it is showing updated. So now again I'll call get all student to see like this Prabhat is replaced with Dinkar. So now we can see like it's updating successfully. So this update call is also working now. So it's clear, Amit, for you, right? Like what we are doing, what problems will come while running the application. Different issues will come every time because of different functionality, different requirement is there.
Yes, Arun.
So this update call is also working. Just to summarize, let's do delete student by ID. And for update, we have to take the like we have to write our own query, and then like after this call, we'll join for 5 to 10 minutes. We'll see like uh,
Okay.
yeah, I will explain that.
Other students are not coming. Arun?
Yeah, other people like they are, I mean, some they're traveling actually. So.
Okay, okay. No